change typically happens at 5 different levels. Now, what are the 5 different levels? Now, first of which, change can happen at what I call the level of the environment. See, how many of you realize that in this world that we are living in, now how we perceive this world, now can be seen through 5 different layers. Now, the first layer is what I term as the environment, referring to, for example, the where and the when. But notice this, if we live in this world constantly looking at what is going on around us, now you blame it that you're not achieving the sales results that you desire to achieve because you do not have enough support from your company, your organization. Now, because of the political situation. Now, what's going to happen is that you're going to find yourself living like a victim. So how could you potentially move to the next stage is where you move from looking at your world nearly from the environment point of view to the next level, which I term as your level of behavior. Now, behavior referring to what you do. Now, what are the things that you're doing? You see, because when you start to shift your focus from your environment, the things that you are not in control of, that you do not have influence over, to the things that you can do to make a difference. Now, that's going to empower you. Does it make sense to you? And of course, when you start to change the things you do, now you guess what? You start to develop new, what I call new capabilities. New capabilities that will help you to succeed in life. Now, this could refer to skills. It could refer to what? Knowledge, expertise that will allow you to thrive and to compete effectively in this modern world. Does it make sense to you? So, now why am I sharing this with you? Because the thing is this. Am I right to say that in this world that we're living in, now so often we've been conditioned to make changes in life at these 3 different levels. Of course, as we know earlier on, some people live as victims, because they are constantly looking at what is going on around them and feeling disempowered to make any change in life. But for those of you who are willing to step out, and step out of your comfort zone, now that's why you can move to looking at what you can do different to make a difference in your life. And acquiring new skills so that you can continue to compete. But you see, here's the thing. If you truly want to create lasting change in life, true transformation from the inside out, see, studies have shown that you need to move beyond this 3 level into the next phase, what I call the level of your values. Now, what are your values? Now, values are defined by your why. Your why for success in life. Now, there's a saying in life, the bigger the why, the smaller the what? The how. Because when you know exactly why you are doing certain things. See, most people do things without knowing the why. Without knowing what actually drives them. And that's a problem because when they meet with challenges, and which are inevitable, when they meet with problems, now that's where they give up. But if you know what ultimately drives you, now that's going to make a whole lot of difference in your life. And as you all know, in sales, there will be days where you will not be seeing the fruits that you want. So what will really keep you going unless you know your why? And then that leads me to the next stage, the highest possible stage, is the identity, referring to the who. Now, see, who do you really see yourself as? What is your what? Now, can I say this? When you start to make changes in these 2 higher levels here, now this ultimately defines what I call your self-concept. It is your self-concept. And the thing is this, studies have shown that when people, people will always act consistent to their self-concept. Now, meaning to say, if you perceive yourself as someone who is you are a lousy salesperson. I don't think I'm cut out to be a salesperson. And that was what exactly I went through. early in my life. I never felt that I was someone who was cut out to be in sales. Because I was looking at what? My behavior. I was looking at my inability to relate well with others. Now, I told you, earlier on that I'm an introvert by nature, and I used to be someone who was so awkward when it comes to social situations, and because of that, that actually affects how I see myself. And then that becomes a cycle, because when that affects who I see myself, then my self-concept starts to affect, guess what? My capabilities, my behavior, and how I'm going to interact with others and my environment. But see, if you want to create change in life, start change with what? Your self-concept. Meaning to say, change who you see yourselves. Understand your why, your motivation, your drive for success. Because when you start to change your self-concept, guess what? That's where you're going to create a ripple effect. And it's going to start to what? Affect how you get things done, the things that you do, the what, and ultimately, even your environment is going to change for the better. Because remember, we have to be the change that we want to see in the world.